Raider reaction is for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire. It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and we come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them. What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Where is that? Well, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop on the corner and ask my man Joe. He'll point you in the right direction. He is a man of commerce. Make sure you hook him up, and he'll hook you up as well. Just down the street, you're going to take a right, and then immediate left. As you're strolling down the street, you're going to pass an alley to your immediate right. It's dark, it's creepy. Do you want to go down it? That cool breeze hits you, chills you to your skeletal core. Is it the autumn wind? You're goddamn right. So go ahead and venture on down that alley, because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call Deep Behind the Enemy Line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it is the Raider Nation Report with yours truly, half a voice or not. There was a slight consideration of canceling tonight's show, but I said, you know what? Fuck it. If I don't have a voice tomorrow, I don't have a voice tomorrow. So it's a solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. And we got a lot to talk about, obviously, as we're sitting at 0-3. We're sitting in last place in the AFC West and sitting in second to the last seed in the AFC. So there's reason for concern, obviously, with our standings, and there's reason to concern that we are coming up upon the last game of the first quarter of the season. Because basically you look at an NFL season in quarter chunks. So you reevaluate and reproject pretty much every 4 games. So this is a big game to me. 1-3 is obviously considerably better than 0-4. The last time we went to a Super Bowl, we were 4-4. Of course, we started 4-0, not 0-4. But nonetheless, I digress. After half a season, we were only 500. So if you can manage to grab a win this quarter and then come away with a winning record in the second quarter of the season, you can start to make a run in that and get things right going down the stretch in the second half of the season. So that's a good question, T. Let's look at that. When you're looking at the schedule and how it shakes out with what we've got left, you've got 3 games that are fairly winnable going ahead. However, this Sunday is an interesting game. It's an interesting game with the way it shook out. I agree, Running Baron. I'm getting ready to go right there. Thank you for watching with us up on the YouTube feed. But it's an interesting matchup due to the fact that you now have the added storyline and you now have the added adrenaline, excitement infused into a team that hasn't had that for a while. So now all of a sudden, weeks ago when you're looking at the Browns, you're like, yeah, they tied a game. Now you're looking at the Browns like, wait a second. This kid was the real deal in college. He's got a lot of swagger. He comes in off the bench and gives this team the first win in forever. It was like, it's one of those moments that were written for some crappy Lifetime movie. Or the Oprah fucking TV network or some shit. It was like the perfect little script written for Cleveland. They go out and have a fucking parade and, mob the scenes like it was, like they just won the Super Bowl. So now that you got that coming to the Coliseum, the whoop whoop to you too, Leslie. You got that coming to the Coliseum. When we're sitting at 0-3. So that's not the regular Browns team that's coming. You've now got a Browns team that had already done pretty good in the game that they lost, tied a game, and now won a game with their big draft pick this year. The one that has all the hype, comes in off the bench, wins the damn game, and the city's going crazy, and now we got to deal with that. When we're already scratching our heads like, what the fuck's going on? How are we 0-3? So, I spent a lot of time on Derek Carr last night, and I don't want to go back completely down that road again. I made my points. What you now have for week 4 for Derek Carr is a show me game. You have now reached the maximum amount of adversity that you have faced in your NFL career. You are a year 5 quarterback. You are not a young quarterback anymore. You are now expected to make the right decisions and expected to know how to conduct yourself on the field in game management. He has backed himself in a corner. I don't know if it's because he's trying so hard to grasp Gruden's system. I don't know if he's trying too hard to impress. I don't know if he's just trying too hard, period. I don't know if maybe he already hit his ceiling in 2016. We don't know. What we know, it's year 5. This is more adversity than he has ever faced. He worked his way up. Listen, man, it's easy to play. And when you're sliding in under the radar and you're coming in and teams really aren't quite ready for you because they don't know a lot about you. So we flew in under the radar, and then we came in at 16, and everybody thought we were for real. 17 didn't look that way. And 18, it hasn't started out looking that way either. So you got to start looking at where some of these issues are. And we talked a lot about that last night. You've got to place some blame on Gruden. I mean, he is the head coach of a team that is 0-3, so you have to place some blame on the head coach. It's impossible. You have to place blame on the quarterback. He's made bad decisions in crucial times. You have to put blame on the wide receivers. There's blame that goes there as well. There's drop passes. There's the fact that how the hell does Jordy Nelson get hawked down by linebackers? I didn't see that one coming. I mean, we did end up scoring nonetheless, but still. There's just a lot of questions right now. One of the questions that we have circling out there is actually special teams, as we are in the search for a kicker. Nugent is going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time. Pinheiro is on injured reserve, and the rookie that we were hoping was going to possibly be the future is stayed until next season. So now you've got the option of, what do you do? You got DeGiorgio out there. It's not delivery, it's DeGiorgio. Trevecchio, he's still out there. Do you bring him back? Trevecchio, whatever the fuck you say it. Do you bring him back? He didn't perform well last year under pressure. Once he finally got the shot. You've got some guys out there. You got Forbath, who was cut. So, we did sign one, but is he the guy? Right now, I mean, it's a crucial thing. I mean, you're signing a guy that, I mean, what's his background though? I mean, he's not anybody to get excited about. That guy doesn't have a huge track record. I'm a little concerned. Even nonetheless, when we sign him, because now you're bringing in a guy. You know, he's got no. I mean, listen, we're not scoring points in the red zone by putting it across the goal line. So, you know, some kid that kicked at Kansas State is not getting me excited, because we need points are such a premium right now that we need anything we got. So you've got that. You also, the other big injury coming out of this weekend was Donald Penn, who's in concussion protocol. Initial rumors are that it's not going to be an issue. He will be ready for this week, but yeah, obviously when you're dealing with your brain being rattled around inside of your skull, that's not necessarily an exact science. So Donald Penn is still a situation that needs to be monitored on a day-to-day basis to see if he's going to be ready for week 4. Currently, still up in the air. Still currently up in the air. Now, we started talking about Carr yesterday, but I want to go down a little different road and a discussion about the relationship between John Gruden and Derek Carr. Regardless of the fact of the record this year or any of that, the dynamic of the fact that Derek Carr was given a very large contract the year before John Gruden joined the team and was given a very large contract. So which large contract holds more weight and clout for the Raiders organization, for Raiders ownership, general manager, what have you? If things slip and continue to slip this season, and we go into next season and things don't start off stellar, we have Vegas on the horizon. Do they say Gruden was not the right fit for Carr? Or Carr is not the right fit for Gruden? Does Gruden have Carr's back 100% since he wasn't his guy? I have these little questions because you wonder. Every new coach that comes in wants to have their coaches in place, their system in place, ran by their hand-picked guys. That's what they all want. And when you're looking at a guy that comes in with a 10-year contract, you got to think he's not looking short-term. Now, did he come back? Part of the reason he came back is because of Carr? I would hope so. And that's what I was thinking all along. But these are just like, things that just make you think, you know, just little questions to throw out there. Because, you know, I look at some of these things a little differently. I try to look ahead and see if there's a long-term idea or. And these are the kind of questions that I mean, they're realistic questions. You had a guy that was a large commitment was made last year, and then another large commitment was made this year, and we will see. We will see. Now, next year we have another large contract that's possibly going to come up as Amari Cooper needs to be looked at. Now, Amari Cooper has every year, and listen, I stood on the soapbox for this guy again. I kept him in my fantasy dynasty league in my hardcore challenge league. I started him again this week, and I lost by 7 points because of Amari Cooper's shit performance. This guy is barely, and has barely, been the number one wide receiver on our team pretty much for the last several seasons. You could have made the argument for Michael Crabtree as the number one as much as him. Crabtree would make the clutch plays in the end zone. Crabtree was the one that was just as clutch as Coop. Coop would have his big games, but they're so sporadic, and he doesn't link them together enough. So far you've had 2 games that he's been MIA, and 1 game where he came up big against the Donks. And so you look at Amari Cooper, when you know he's going to want money, and can you pay him if he continues to have the type of season he's had out of 3 weeks? Now, it's 3 weeks in. I get it. Let's not get too damn excited. It's 3 weeks in. But these are the questions you have to start thinking about, because you have only 16 games. Once Sunday is gone, you have 3 quarters of the season left. A quarter of the season's gone already. So, every game is huge. Listen, this isn't baseball. This ain't 162 games, where if you lose one, you're like, we got 4 more games this week. It's not 82 games like hockey, like baseball, where if you drop a game, we'll pick it up, on Wednesday. No, that's not how it works. This is 16 games. Every one is so valuable that you just can't let them slip away. We've already given 2 away that were winnable. It's unfortunate. So when you're looking at Amari Cooper and you're looking at the draft next year, do we go big wide receiver, go for a number 1 in the first round? Do we not pay Amari Cooper the type of money, or do we try to go get a number 1 on a rookie contract and try to do like we did with Cooper? Food for thought. And staying on that same line, running back. If this isn't a playoff team at the end of the season, even if it is a playoff team at the end of this season, there's still questions about whether Marshawn Lynch returns. Now, without Marshawn Lynch, who's our starter? Now, I know you're all going to say, it's Chris Warren III. Pump the brakes. You've seen him do some things that look good in preseason. But are you really ready to hand the reins over to this guy as to be the guy that's the number 1 in the offense? I didn't see that out of him. He was playing against soft defenses, seconds and thirds at most. And I didn't see that out of him. He got most of his action in the second half of preseason games, and I'm realistic. I don't know if he's that guy. And even if he is, and believe he might be, you don't put all of your eggs in that basket. So then you got to get somebody to go with him. Because if he ain't the guy, we got to get somebody else. Because Doug Martin's garbage ass is going right back on the fucking curb where we picked his ass up from. Listen, you ain't going to find diamonds digging through somebody's trash. Doug Martin should have been left on the curb. He's going to go back there at the end of the season. So he's not going to be there. Listen, Jalen Richard's a cute gadget back, but he's not an every down back that you're going to rely on. Neither's DeAndre Washington. DeAndre Washington's still banged up. So you, other than Chris Warren III, you don't have that guy in the system. Now, the way he got onto the roster was interesting. Absolutely, Michael. It was great. Listen, it was great seeing everybody. Thank you, Michael. It was great seeing everybody that I saw in Miami at the game on Sunday. Because, you know, win or lose, regardless, it is it's always a Raider party, and it was a great time seeing everybody that was out there, everybody that stopped by the Raider Reaction tent on Sunday. It was a damn good time. And the third, that was a damn good time, and I appreciate everybody that stopped by. It was a great time. Especially appreciate you guys who picked up some Raider Reaction swag, some t-shirts at the booth. We're planning on being at more games and having the whole setup there and bringing some more of the crew. We had Silver Sunshine there with us. We had Captain Jack with us. It was a good time around Raider Reaction Central there in what was the attempted Miami invasion. We kind of fucking fell on our face. As we're currently ranked number 15 in the AFC. Number 15. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Well, let's jump speed. Let's go to a different kind of topic. Let's spin on around. Let's go a little different direction. Because it really is everything silver and black. So let's talk about our very, very near future. And that is regarding our destination of where we'll be playing our games in 2019, which is somewhat up in the air. You've got this looming lawsuit between the city of Oakland and the team over possible rights, the colors, the shield, the name. That they would like to see that stripped and the team leave. Basically like the Ravens, who were the Browns and left the Browns, said, fuck, keep that shit, I'm out. Oh, I want a new name. Peace. That's kind of what they want us to do. But those are two completely different situations. It's like comparing fucking apples and rocks. I mean, it's not even in the same fucking category. When the Browns left, and Arbo Deli moved the team and took them out, he wanted nothing to do with Cleveland. He wanted to leave the history. He wanted not shit to do with the name, their fucking colors, their stupid helmet with no logo. He wanted nothing to do with that. Their goddamn team is named after a fucking guy's last name. I mean, seriously. And you turn that into a dog somehow. I don't know how the fuck that works out. I mean, that's why you motherfuckers are on the kiddie table. Front and center, bitches. But they wanted to leave. And when they didn't want to take nothing like that with them. So they're like, we're shedding this shit and we're leaving. You should keep that shit in Cleveland. And they left, went to Baltimore, started a whole new franchise. New name, new identity, new everything. That's not what's going on. Mark Davis and the Raiders are saying, fuck you guys. We're taking our shit and we're bouncing because you're not going to give us a proper playground. And we're taking everything that's ours and we're leaving. We're not giving you nothing because you don't own nothing. So, it's two completely different situations. The city of Oakland owns no rights to the Raiders. It's going to be hard to play that card when they already left for a fucking substantial amount of time before. You didn't own no rights to them then. So how are you going to claim you own rights to them now? it's such a lose-lose play. It really is. Because if you win, what do you get? You get the shield and the colors and no fucking players. No players. Because guess what? Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, who's ever in the silver and black at the time when the team goes to Vegas, guess what? They're still going. And then you'd just be sitting there with a... What the fuck do I do with this? I ain't got nothing to wear it to. The team doesn't even exist anymore. And do you really think that you're going to build a fan base back or even have a chance to build a fan base back when a large percentage of them is still going to follow the team to Vegas because it's the players that they know and love? And then you're going to have some scab-ass fucking organization of the Raiders that fucking births like 2 or 3 years after the other ones leave? That's different ownership and, tries to use the old... I mean, come on. What kind of bastardized shit would that be? That's the kind of fucking nation you want? That ain't the kind of nation I want. Fuck that. Hey, man. If the fucking landlord's being a fucking dick and it's time to fucking bounce... Bam! There's your last rent check, motherfucker. Peace! We go into the desert to find the treasure now. That's just the way it is. Fuck it. I mean, I'm sick of the... Man, listen. March 27th, 2017. The fucking vote came in. Get up out your fucking feels, man. The move has been final forever. Get over it. So, because of that... and that fractured relationship, now there's where are we going in 2019. There's talks of San Diego. Your talks of playing at Fresno State. You hear talks of UNLV Stadium. There's lots of... I've even heard so much as San Antonio. We're going to play in San Antonio for a year. It's fucking odd. I don't know why San Antonio keeps popping up as like this weird freaking alter option. My throat, man. I tell you. Brutal. So we've got that now looming over. Now that is, to me, I've heard that as well, Lions. Phoenix I've also heard is an option. That's just a concern because now you've got this where a team really doesn't have a home. Yes, they got this new stadium on the horizon, but it's not there yet. And it's just an added distraction and something you don't want to see. That it turns out to be something that, turns 2019 into just a like a segue year, like a fucking throwaway year. Like, you remember that year we played in that weird stadium in between stadiums, and then it just turns into the year that gets lost. I don't want that. I don't need that. This was supposed to be the return to greatness, and quite frankly, it hasn't been. And, there's lots of different reasons why that has happened. I am somewhat happy with what I've seen on the defense. However, hold on, where are we? What I have seen that I don't really care for is I continue to see damn near 100% activity on the field from Reggie Nelson. I don't think that's putting our best foot forward at safety. I don't. I don't think Gary Connolly's played bad. I don't think our defense has played bad. Our offense has not helped our defense. When your defense is getting you back-to-back 3-and-outs, you have to do something with it. When you're getting inside the red zone, you have to do something with it. The defense has set you up good in the last 2 games in the first half, and the offense hasn't really done anything with it. They've even pitched a shutout one game and only put up a meager 12 points. The reason the defense is now being backed up at the end of the game, when they're tired, they're wore down from battling all game, is because the offense isn't putting up enough points. If you're not scoring more than 20 in the goddamn NFL on a regular basis, you are not going to win. You just aren't going to win. You've got to score points. The NFL and the rules, the way everything is set, it is set to score touchdowns. It is set to score touchdowns. That is the way it is. Everything is geared towards the offense. And if you are not putting up points in a league that is already has the rules geared towards you succeeding and making the game exciting and scoring points, how the league wants it to run, and you're not succeeding at doing that, you, my friend, are going to lose in this fucking league the way it is designed. This league is designed for you to go out there and put points on the fucking board. They don't want you to hit the quarterback. They don't want you to rough the receivers any fucking iota before that ball gets there. And when they do have the ball, they don't want you to hit them very fucking hard. Only in this little spot, and you got to hit just like this, be turning like this, with your tongue sticking out, holding one finger up. You know, it's fucking stupid. So if you can't succeed in a league that's already geared for you to succeed and put up points, then I don't know what to tell you. Then we're fucked. Carr is number 6 in the league in yards, and offense is top 10. Phillip Rivers damn near throws for 4,000 yards every season. And I don't see any jewelry on his hands. I just see a stupid fucking bolo tie. Stats are cute. Dan Marino's got a lot of stats. And no jewelry. I would rather have the jewelry than statistics. There's only one stat in the world that means anything to me. Wade took the words right out of my mouth. W's are the only stat that matters. That's it. I don't care how you get it. I don't care if it was pretty. Don't matter. You leave with the W, it's all that matters. 10 years from now, when everybody's looking back on the record of what it was this season, they're like, what happened that game? No, they don't remember. They're not going to go down to the specifics. Oh, I remember that game. That was the one where, they almost, we almost did this. We just missed that last second. No. Oh, yeah, I remember that game. We lost. Yeah, I remember that. We beat you guys that game. That's what you're going to hear from people. I mean, you can go back and try to argue the point on it, but it doesn't matter. You lost. Oh, it was a good... Listen. Oh, it was a good game. Yeah. That's the mantra of losers. In the famous words of Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last. And I told my son that. Hey, listen, there's a time when your kids are 4 and 5 and you have them out there in the little pee-wee leagues and they're playing and they're learning teamwork and shit. But there becomes the time when they start to get about 8, about 9, where they give a shit if they win or lose. And you're fucking right. if you're not first, you're last. Go out there and have fun, but it's a whole hell of a lot more fun if you're fucking winning. It ain't a lot of fun when somebody's out there fucking putting the boots to you. My son learned that real quick in flag football. His very first season. And then they won a couple championships. If you're not first, you're last. It doesn't matter in what age group, how old you are, professional, whatever. Doesn't matter. Somebody goes home a winner, somebody goes home a loser. And there's only one real winner every damn season. So that's what matters to me. That's why when I hear all of the arguments about why Jim Plunkett shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, I look at one stat and one stat only. Jim Plunkett has 2 Super Bowl rings. 2! That's the only stat that fucking matters to me. So if you've got quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame that have 1 ring, then you cannot make an argument against Jim Plunkett. You can't. That man walked through 2 NFL playoffs. The hardest gauntlet there is. These are one-shot games. These ain't a series where you get a chance to come back in game 2, battle in game 3. No. This is, you show up, play 1 fucking game, win or lose, or your season's fucking over. And he took 2 teams through that shit. As the CEO on the field of an NFL franchise. So you can't make arguments for... That's the only stat that matters. The only stat that matters to quarterback is, did you get me the W? Nobody remembers the loser. Nobody cares. Because if you're not first, you're last. There's 1 winner and 31 losers every season. You made it to the Super Bowl, you just got to lose on a fucking bigger stage. And that's it. Quite frankly, if our team don't win the Super Bowl, I'd rather fucking not see them there. I do not want to see the Raiders get to the brink of the pinnacle of the sport and then piss down their leg. I've seen that before. I don't want to see it again. So no thank you. I'll pass. It's interesting the way things have shook out. The NFL season it's such a this is why we love it, but this is sometimes why you hate it. This is why it hurts so much to be a loyal fan. It's why it hurts so much, because each game is so important. That's the beauty. Part of the beauty of the NFL is, with only 16 games, every one means so much. Especially when 6 of them are division games. They mean so much, and when you let them slip away in such fashion that we have the last 2 weeks, it sends your fan base into a fucking insane stir. We don't know how to deal with it. What can we do about the red zone? Start making better decisions with the football. You don't run your fullback. You run beast mode. You don't force passes on first down. You throw it away and reboot. Huddle up and go for second down. We have to make better decisions with the football, and what we do with it in the red zone. We get down there, and every time we seem to get down there, there seems to be a false start. There seems to be we need to call a timeout because now that we're down here, we're fucking confused. Because we crossed the 20, we got retarded all of a sudden. It's a lot of things need to change. I don't sit here and point all the blame at Derek Carr. It's not all Derek Carr. Derek Carr doesn't call the plays. Derek Carr doesn't catch the passes. Derek Carr doesn't run the routes. Derek Carr doesn't do a lot. But the ball goes through him to get everywhere. So he takes some culpability in everything that happens out there on the field. It's just the reality of the matter. It's just the reality of the matter. One win and a lot of things will improve. There's no doubt about that. Winning breeds winning. Winning breeds, obviously, happiness in your fan base. Winning is contagious. It can obviously lead to more wins because you get guys that now instead of nobody's talking to each other in the locker room, everybody's pissed off after a game. Guys get angry, start arguing. It happens. So a win would be huge. But like I said earlier, man, the storyline has really, really changed for this week. It's really, really changed. You got Baker Mayfield getting his first start after he comes off the bench, gives them their first win. It's like they won the damn Super Bowl in Cleveland. They're losing their fucking minds. And now all that hype, all that drama, all that built up. Now we got to deal with that at home as we return from losing 2 games in a row on the road. Is it a get-right game? Man, if this ain't a get-right game, I don't know what the fuck is. I mean, you got the Browns rolling in with actually a little hype. I disagree, Kevin. I think it means a lot. It means a lot not to the NFL world, but it means a lot to the cohesive unit that is the Oakland Raider team. That win means a lot because that stops drama, that stops arguments. That win means a lot. That now gives you, as a coach, the see what we can do. Do you see what we can do if we work together? That gives you now stuff that you can build on. Right? You can't build on losses and a losing streak. There's no way. At 1-3, now you have opened some hope. You've now opened a chance and given yourself hope. Exactly. It stops finger pointing. It stops guys turning on each other. Winning breeds winning. Winning is contagious, and it puts the mojo back in your locker room. It's amazing what a win or 2 can do for a team. It's amazing, and that's all we need. That's really all we need. And man, it's just the dynamics of this game just concern me because you've got, listen, and there's nothing more dangerous than a quarterback who really feels like he's kind of playing with house money. Because right now, after what Baker Mayfield did last week, nobody's really expecting him to come in and win every damn game. So if in his first start he comes out and has a mediocre game, listen, they're not going to turn on him. If he comes out and just listen, that's what concerns me is that this kid, I don't know if he feels like he's got anything to lose in this game. And that scares me a little bit. Because our corners and our safeties, they can let some things through. And if they're challenged a lot and pushed a lot to the edge, we're going to have to see. So it's a very interesting dynamic this weekend. And we're going to get into a little more of that on Thursday, the Raider Nation Ricochet, when my favorite salty bastard, Captain Jack, will be joining me as we get into the Raider Nation Ricochet. We will dig a lot more into the Cleveland matchup on Thursday. Now, tomorrow night, make sure you join me as I am trailing Prime in our Ghost to the Post game predictions. And we're trying to come up with a nice wager between the two of us. Obviously it's got to be something horribly embarrassing because, that's just entertaining. So make sure you join us tomorrow night as we'll go through the entire lineup of games for week 4 and make our picks along with you. Now, I want to end the show with a little segment that I like to call the WTF. Now, we're 0-3. I've obviously been upset about it. I've had some things to say about it. Everybody else does as well. When you're 0-3, now everybody all of a sudden, has different opinions on specific players, on players that are some people's favorites. So they're very sensitive about their player. And how can you say anything about our quarterback? And I love my quarterback. How can you say anything about him? Oh, I love Coop. And and then people start getting crazy and start throwing around these terms like, you're a bandwagon fan because you're ragging on the team, or how can you not back the team? Or you're not a real Raider. You're not this, you're not that. And wanting to put definitions and labels on things and shit like that. And listen, I'm a non-fucking label guy. You can't really put a label on me. I don't get painted in a box. There's no definition. Go look up Raider in the fucking dictionary. There's not a picture and instruction manual there of what the fuck it takes to be a Raider. That's the beautiful thing about being a goddamn Raider, is you could be whatever the fuck you want to be. We got Raider fucking Spider-Man running around out there. There's fucking Raider pirates. There's me. There's you got the gorillas running around there. You got Raider Joker. You got all kinds of. Everybody has their own spin on what they think the Raider Nation is to them. Everybody that's there. It means something different to everybody to be a Raider. If being a Raider means when your team loses on fucking Sunday, you want to fucking rip every fucking buddy that fucked up that day, then that's your motherfucking right as a fan. Rip their ass. Why? Because you paid fucking good money to support them, to buy their swag, to buy their fucking jersey, to buy tickets, to pay their fucking highly inflated fucking salaries. They are entertainers. All we want as a fan is the same kind of love coming back from the field that we give to it. The only way you can give that is back to us in W's. So to go around and calling somebody a bandwagon fan because they question the shit that their fucking team is putting on the field and the way that certain players are playing, nah, that ain't being a bandwagon fan. That's being a pissed off diehard. And maybe you just don't understand. You see, there's no definition of what a raider is. So when I see these posts in groups and somebody's questioning or has something critical to say, and then you see 20 guys that fucking want to jump in there and say, well, you're not a fucking raider. Well, you're not a raider. Once a raider, always a raider. Well, listen, but I'm not a fucking ostrich, man. I don't stick my head in the sand. Okay? There's nothing that's black and white in this world. This world's full of gray areas. That's what it is. So you have to look at everything in this world with a slanted perspective. There's no instruction manual to what a raider is. You can love, hate, criticize your team in however goddamn manner you see fit. I happen to do it on a little more public forum than most. And so I catch shit for it as well. But to those of you who would like to refer to me as a bandwagon fan, guess what? I got on this Raider train a long motherfucking time ago. And that ticket I punched, that bitch is for life. And if I'm critical of the shit that I see on the field, that's because it's shit. I don't care how much you want to roll it in sugar and how much you want to sprinkle shit on it. All kinds of little pink and white sprinkles and make it all look great and all it looks delicious. You grab a bite of that motherfucker, it's still shit. So, I don't care how much you want to sugarcoat it. Shit is shit. So don't come at me. And don't come at other members of the Raider Nation because they're upset with a team with so much potential and talent on it is 0-3. Because seriously. What the fuck? Like I'm a bandwagon fan. Get the hell off of here. This is a Raider train, motherfucker. I ain't getting off of it. Ever. Push me off of it when my heart stops beating. And that's about it. Because I don't want to stink up the thing. But until then, I'm there. Tomorrow night, just goes to the post with priming the commish as we drop back deep in the pocket and let it fly league-wide. So make sure you join us tomorrow night. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. I appreciate you all joining me as always. Our band of pirates, new and old. Did somebody say Jamarcus? Anybody got any purple drink? Purple drink? I am the Jawalrus. Goo-coo ka-choo. I'm out. Thank you for joining us. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.